Yes. Welcome one and all to our segment of going back in time for a review of older films. With me, Larry Olubamuwo, and
Damien Ashley,
okay, and
Mr. L. Ross.
someone's off his meds, isn't it?
Yeah.
I had to do a different entrance because if I did it, I'm going to get this for the next 5 minutes. I had to do something you can't replicate.
So, obviously we did a review of the first Blade film last time. We were planning on doing Blade 2 next, but because of our wonderful Indonesian supporters, we've decided to do the Raid, and then next week we'll do the Raid 2, and then we'll continue with the Blade series. So, without further ado, here is some facts about the Raid. But before we do that, I just want to say that the Raid, it was a martial art film made in 2011, I believe. Stars Iko Uwais, directed by Welsh director Gareth Evans. Should we just get in it? Oh, let's just say we've been dissing Leon about not watching the Raid.
Yeah, we have. We've been giving it to him.
He's watched it.
I've seen it. I've
We
been converted.
We have not asked him yet, or I haven't. No, Larry has. We've not asked him yet what he thinks of the film.
No.
Oh, no, I have.
Oh, you have? Oh,
What
okay.
do you... Well,
We'll get to it.
We'll get to it.
He hasn't watched 2.
I want to know the facts, though.
Yeah.
I'm interested now.
So, some facts here for you, right? So, fact 1 is the Raid was... The name of the film was changed to The Raid Redemption when it was released in the US, as Sony Pictures, who are the distributor, couldn't secure rights to the title of The Raid. So that also allowed Gareth Evans to plan out future titles in the series. So obviously they wanted to call it The Raid blah blah blah, The Raid blah blah blah. So the first one was The Raid Redemption. I don't even know what the second one was called.
The second one is Baran.
No, well, the US version.
I don't think it actually has a US title for it.
Cool, just The Raid 2. Yeah. All right. So the second fact is, having lived in Indonesia for 4 years and learned about the country's predominant religion, which is Islam, Gareth Evans implicitly integrated the Islamic faith into Iko Uwais' character. So you see that in the beginning of the film when he's on the prayer mat praying, which as a Muslim myself, I find that really a really cool thing that he did. So yeah, I thought that was really good. Third fact is that Joel Taslim, who plays Jaka, the sergeant who leads his unit into the Raid in the building, he's a former judo champion, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
And after watching the first film Gareth Evans did, called Marantau, which I still need to... Have you watched it?
Yeah, I love this first one.
Have you watched it?
No.
Okay.
Not yet.
We both need to watch it.
Yeah,
He's just seen the Raid.
I've just seen The Raid.
Yeah, well, true. Yeah, that's Gareth Evans' first film with Uwais. Joel Taslim contacted Evans via Facebook. Facebook is not all crap. For the next project, and as Evans was looking through his Facebook profile, he saw him in a SWAT uniform and then thought he looked like a character that he had in mind, and then cast him and made him go through some choreography tests and stuff, and got in. So well done him. Fourth fact is Ray Sahetapi. Apologies for all you Indonesians. I know how it feels. Olubamuwo's my name, and a lot of people butcher that. So anyway, but he plays drug lord Tama. He's the boss of the building. So Evans wanted a non-stereotypical take on the character. Citing that most gangster films have a boss that's usually wearing a suit and smoking cigars and stuff like that. And he's definitely not the type. You see that in the opening when he first comes on screen.
Eating noodles and a whack.
Yeah, exactly. So that was a little different. Fifth fact is Evans cast Yayan Ruhian as Mad Dog, who is muscle behind Tama's operation. And he wanted him to play a purely evil character as opposed to the character that he played in Evans' debut film, Marantau. because I heard that he played like a.
It's a really somber.
I heard his character. He had some redeeming qualities.
Okay.
Which in the first raid
there wasn't
one
no.
at all. Okay, let's not say about the raid 2 because we Okay, so the sixth fact is Donny Alamsia, who played Andy, his brother, and Tamer's confidant, who is also Rama's estranged elder brother, played Iko Uwais' brother in Marantau as well. But he regretted not doing any action scenes in Marantau, so he approached Evans to audition for the raid in some action scenes. And you saw that he got to do that, especially in the final fight with Mad Dog, when they're both fighting Mad Dog. So the seventh fact is Iang Damawan, who plays Golfer, a tenant of the building who tends to his ill wife, if you remember. He only had comedic acting credits prior to the raid, and so this made his transition into a more serious role. That's quite interesting. You're doing comedy, and then all of a sudden you do some
serious role you never do.
Some graphic martial arts film. So another fact is the film had a budget of just $1 million, which we all know is pittance. And this was in 2011, but it grossed $9.3 million, almost 10 times the budget. So that's a runaway success, and no wonder he got the budget to then do the Raid 2. And my last fact, although Damien's got a couple more facts, is there are, unfortunately, active plans for a Hollywood remake. With Evans producing and a guy called Joe Kernahan.
Don't do it, Gareth.
Directing. And this was as February 2017. But as Damien pointed out to me before we came on camera, that's probably not likely to happen. It's been talked about since 2017. They've had Frank Grillo as a main lead. They've had the Hemsworth brothers. I'm not friggin' interested at all. I would rather Gareth Evans do a third film than them do a Hollywood remake. You know, and all these films that Hollywood does a remake of that come from a foreign background, like do you remember that Korean film that they did?
Which one?
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh boy,
that's the one. The Korean one. The Korean was much better. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not interested. Are you interested in the Hollywood?
I don't like remakes. In general, usually. 9 times out of 10, they're not. No, let's. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Leave
100%.
Leave it.
What about yourself?
No, don't even dare. That's sacrilege. Don't touch it.
Yeah. Well, that's my all my facts. I think Damien's got a few more facts.
Well, these are old ones. So for some of you may or may not know, obviously the Raid was not the original movie. The original movie is one we're going to touch on next week. But when Gareth Evans approached the studios to make it, went, hold on. We've seen Marantau, but we can't trust you with a bigger budget just yet. Go away and make something, a little bit smaller scale. So for those that have seen the Raid 2, you know how big it opens up in terms of the epicness of the narrative. He made something a lot more insular, so if that's the right word, but made something a lot more intimate and just kind of like reined it right back in. And it's almost, it's like an epilogue or sorry, a prologue to the Raid 2, if you look at it that way. So that's why the Raid came about. It was never originally a film. All the choreography that actually was in the Raid 2 was originally choreography for what was the first film. They had to go away and redo new choreography for the Raid. So that was a big thing for me to look at, the fact that they put so much work into the Raid 2, couldn't do it, had to go away and quickly make this. In fact, had to quickly make this one. When you look at how well made this film is.
It's true. That actually is amazing because even we were talking about the choreography, weren't we? And it looked amazing in the first one, and the second one just blows. For me, that blows that away. It's amazing what they were able to do in such a short space of time.
The other one is touching on something we've been talking about for the last few weeks. Obviously, the shooting on the American film set with Alec Baldwin. This film was obviously made in 2011, so it's its 10th anniversary. Literally this year, it got its Toronto International Film Festival release in September of 2011. So it's officially 10 years old at the moment. It's quite, timing that we're doing it now. But to think it was made 2011 on a very minuscule budget, every single gun in the film is an airsoft replica. There is not one real gun on that set, not one blank firing gun on that set. They're all airsoft replicas. And Gareth Evans, with the small film crew he had, taking this as a Welsh director in Indonesia, working with a crew that probably haven't made a film of this scale, and they use all airsoft and filled in all the muzzle flashes, all the sound effects in post. If you've seen The Raid, which I hope you have seen, having watched this review, you'll know the gun aspects of this film are heavy and look
amazing,
hella real. So the fact that they did all that tells you Hollywood, you need to look at not just martial arts, but how they do action in other countries. Because if they can do that, what is that telling you?
I mean, again, me and Leon talk about how graphic, you know, it was. And I mean, there's scenes where he putting the gun right to the man's face and blowing his head off. And so I didn't even know that, to be honest with you. I'm just hearing that from you now. And I'm amazed by that. So yeah, Hollywood, like what you're dealing with, like, you know, what would you think of that, Leon? I mean, here obviously with all the tragedies that's happened, and it's obviously with Alec Baldwin,
there's no excuse.
That's
all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
No excuse.
That's what I was thinking, man. Any more facts?
I'm trying to think. Probably on with that. Obviously, as you guys know, Iko, before he did Morantal, we mentioned this before, was a telephone operator. The man repaired telephone cables for a living. And if you've seen The Raid, the performance he gives in this, you wouldn't have known that man was not an actor.
Was this his first film?
Second. So second was Morantal. There wasn't that long between. I think Morantal was 2008? 2009, sorry, 2009. And then, because I saw Morantal first, and then I found out about The Raid, and that's why I went to see it the first day it came out.
Right.
And that was there's not much of a difference in terms of performance.
Is Morantal a martial art film?
Yes. So Morantal is very, very similar to Ong Bak.
Right.
Okay. You remove the elephant from it.
Yeah.
It's pretty much Ong Bak.
Okay, cool.
But yeah.
All right then. So these are all the facts about The Raid. So
do you have any more facts?
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, please do.
Have you seen Morantal? Should I watch it?
Should we watch?
We watch it?
Well, me and Leon, because he's already seen it.
How good is it?
Yeah.
For the super fans of Mr. Uwais, let us know.
Well, I think we're super fans as well.
Yeah, we're super fans. For the other super fans.
Yeah. So we are going to do a synopsis of the film, just tell you what the film is about quite quickly, and then we'll deep dive into some of the characters and their performances. So we'll let Damien fill the synopsis. Tell people what the film is briefly about.
So, film starts off, we're introduced to the character of Rama, who we do or do not know what he's about to embark upon. We then shoot over to this drug lord up in his kingpin mansion / derelict building, who's basically taking out a lot of men. The two characters established straight away as good and bad. We then go straight into a whole SWAT team diving on this building as we're about to basically remove the head kingpin. And is there something more to the reason they're there, or is there not? And then what ensues is a hell of a lot of violence, a hell of a lot of martial arts choreography, and some lovely, actually small dramatic beats in certain parts, which I've actually made more notes of today. But yeah, it is a martial arts extravaganza. It is an A-class in action filmmaking. And yeah, it's just one you have to definitely see. And that kind of a review / synopsis. Yeah, so that's the Raid.
So basically it's like what Damien just said. Like basically a SWAT team are going into a building which has several levels to remove the drug lord over there, but the drug lord rents out rooms to all sorts of criminal elements and a certain amount of decent people. And when it's found out that police are coming there, they're alerted, and then he tells everyone to kill them. And then if anyone does manage to do that, they will get a room there for life, basically. And then what ensues is just a whole heap of violence and martial arts mayhem. And then we find out that one of the boss's lieutenants is his brother, is Rama's brother, who's working for him, and they have a little complicated relationship. The other lieutenant is Mad Dog, who is a crazy motherfucker, who is also very proficient in martial arts. And you see that in the final fight scene between Rama and his brother versus Mad Dog, where Mad Dog puts up a hell of a fight and almost mashes both of them up.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to ask your opinion on that fight scene early on before we.
What, the Mad Dog?
Yeah, the final fight scene between Mad Dog and Rama and his brother. What did you think of that fight scene?
I think that was one of the best fight scenes I've seen.
Wow.
Because it was just, usually the star is obviously better than the baddie.
Yeah.
In this, Mad Dog could have won.
Oh yeah.
And you can you believe he could have beaten them. And it was close.
Yes.
And he showed how highly skilled, highly trained, and highly proficient he was in martial arts. And that's what I like to see. Not just a baddie that can throw a few punches and, you know, just 100%. Get beaten up.
100%.
Like, I actually liked the character.
Yeah.
I enjoyed his character, which was a bit strange because there was no endearing quality.
No.
But I just liked his character, and I just thought it was like something real powerful and strong.
I get that.
When he threw off the gun and goes, "This is what I do."
Yes.
I was about to touch on that. That speaks to the quality though of Gareth Evans as a director and also the writing, because like to have a character who, again, no redeeming qualities. The only thing he knows is how to literally kill people. And when he literally puts down the gun and he says, "Now this is the real thing," and he walks forward to me like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
The confidence. The confidence.
Even like from a directorial standpoint, he has that moment where he pauses on Joe Taslim's face as he's like, "Did he just put the gun down?" And it's that moment of realization of, I've just fucked with the wrong person. And it's just,
for me, I'll tell you, watching it again, because I haven't seen it in a long time, just before they start fighting, just the way he, you know, when he shakes the gun, you can hear the sound. It's and it's like just directing him to move like that without saying a word. That for me is very scary. That's scary. Like if I was in that situation, I don't know what I'll do, because you know what I mean. That is seriously intimidating.
Well, the other bit was when he tries to open the door and the door's locked in the hallway, and usually it's okay, I'm gonna fight them now, but it wasn't that. You saw him go from can't open this door. I'm gonna have to do this. And I don't know how it's gonna end up. All in emotions, no words. I don't know how this is gonna end up, but let's do this.
And you'll see that in Array 2. He's very. This is what I love about, and you touch on it so brilliantly. I hate Mary Sue's. You know. Vin Diesel is a Mary Sue. Ray in the Star Wars is a Mary Sue. They can do anything, not get hurt, and there's no stakes. Whereas in this,
Iko gets mashed.
He gets mashed. Even in Array 2, same
After
thing.
that hallway, you felt his head's bruised.
He's
got a headache. He's seeing double vision. His legs are
It's the bit where
he's not just dragging one leg like Bruce Willis or something. He's broken, and I felt if he had to fight now, he's not going to do it right now. He can't cope.
Exactly. 100%. And I love that, because that reflects somewhat real life. You're gonna, no matter how highly skilled, and we know as martial artists, no matter how highly skilled you are, if you're in that kind of fight with another martial artist, even if you win, you're gonna come out messed up. You know what I mean? So man. So glad to see you enjoyed the film, and you're in for a treat with Ray too.
I'm excited. I'm excited already.
So we are going to deep dive into some of the characters, right?
And some of the bits of the film, definitely.
So please lead us.
First thing I didn't notice, I mean, I've seen this film probably 8 or 9 times now. I said to Larry, I went to see it when it very first came out. I went to see it again when they re-released it, when the second one came out. This is by far my favourite martial arts film.
What, even more than Ray 2?
Like the two of them together.
Oh, okay.
So originally, before the Raid 2 came out, this was the martial arts film. And then Raid 2 came out, and then it kind of what I didn't notice the first time, I noticed around like the first 8 times that I started to dissect this time, was there's so much foreshadowing. In the movie. So for instance, like the very opening scene when he goes to his father and he says to him, "I'll bring you back." You don't know who he's talking about. Then he does the bit in the back of the car when they're driving forward and the officer's sitting there and Joe Tasman's character is talking through, Jack is talking through what's going to happen. and one officer's sitting there and he's shaking. You can see he hasn't got to say anything at all. But you can see.
You can see. Yeah, remember he's holding a gun and
And then Rama calms him down, and then he sees a photograph of the people they're going to arrest, and one of them's his brother, and all he does is go. And just looks away, and still you don't know why he's doing that, but they foreshadow that straight away. They do it again when you get to meet Andy and Mad Dog, where basically Andy, his brother, he sees obviously his brother on the CCTV.
Yes,
camera.
We're holding the gun. Yeah.
It's a bit of a technical cheat though.
Yeah.
It's the first time because the first time you see it,
Yeah.
he's very far from the screen, but to cheat it for the audience, you can see who he's looking at.
Right,
they bring it up like it's zoomed in.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a technical cheat, Gareth. I saw that for the first time.
Yeah.
But literally, you get to see his reaction to his brother, and they haven't mentioned their brothers yet. They haven't mentioned that.
Yeah.
Then with the old man, the way they established the old man is like there's the kind of like rat in the crew. One of the first ones is obviously like when he's talking about the new officers coming in, and he's sat outside watching the time, and he's already tense, but you can tell there's something else behind it. Later on, I always forgot who the first one wants to shoot the boy through the door. And it's him.
Yeah.
Because he's I'm not fucking dying. Fuck these guys. This little, like, because everyone hesitates.
Imagine. Because no one wants to shoot a kid, innit? No,
he doesn't care because he knows why he's really there.
Yeah.
So so there's so much foreshadowing literally in the beginning of the film that I just didn't see. Then to go on from that, there's the shaking. What else was it? There was Then there's the way they actually establish the villain. Now, as Larry pointed on earlier, when you introduce a villain, 9 times out of 10, they're a cool-looking motherfucker. They just they are, or they're doing something extremely, disgusting. This guy is doing something extremely disgusting in his pajamas. He stood there eating noodles as cool as a cucumber with his 2 men by the side of him, and you're thinking probably he's watching a game of dominoes. He's sitting there, he's watching a game of dominoes. They're watching cricket. Camera turns round. There's a clean sheet on the floor, and there's 4 guys sat there, all taped up, and it's like, ooh. And the moment that he pulls the gun and puts it on his shoulder,
after he's killed 3 of them already, that's torture.
And the fear he
look
establishes.
After this one,
look after this one.
Keep an eye on this.
And then walks away, opens a drawer, and you see the bullets, and you want him to take the bullets.
But you knew he was going to take that hammer. You knew he was going to take that hammer.
They established that villain as
By the way, Leon won't know this because he hasn't seen the second one. Doesn't that harken back to a scene in the Raid 2?
Yes, it does.
All right. No, we're not going to touch on it, but remember the scene I'm talking about.
There's a lot of homages to the second one in the first one.
Yeah. Because there's a scene almost like that, but a bit more bloodier, actually. Because, you know what he does beforehand. But there's a scene just like that in Raid 2. So, But that's near the end of the film. Please carry on.
They established Rama so well as the hero from the beginning. Like whether it's the way he's tending to his wife in the opening scene, whether it's the way he's in the back of the actual tactical van and he's calming down the officer shaking. There's so many little elements, and we touched this before about directors setting up shots like in Blade, where they set up that moment where he's looking at Whistler or he's holding his arm. For a film of this smaller budget, where you think that martial arts will be the forefront and center, which it is, but also it isn't. Because he puts so much time into all of the little nuances, all the little character beats. And Rama is established as the hero from the opening right through to the end. There's no point where you don't care about what's going to happen to this guy from the opening scene. But they also, there's just the cool bit where you see him doing his pull-ups, he's doing his crunches, and then he does the bag work. Then he puts the gun on afterwards. The gun's pointless. It's like he is the weapon. But it's like, I'm showing you this, but I don't need to.
But the part, again, I've touched on this before, and I think Leon agrees with me. I think the part that, before that, when he's praying on the mat, I think that was so cool. For Gareth to put in him not being a Muslim, but paying homage and paying respect to the Indonesian people who are predominantly Muslim, who are actually, Indonesia, I didn't even know if you guys know, but that is the most populous Muslim country. So, I have big respect to Gareth Evans for that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, big time. And even going back to like what he's doing with the villains, for instance, like he actually gives every little small villain a beat, a moment. Like you've got the sniper outside, and he has that coolest moment where he shoots the officer window. It's like, no. Let him scream.
Yes.
And then you're like, oh, because he knows someone's going to come to the window and blow him away. And that you automatically fear for the officer that steps forward. You're like, don't step forward. No, too late. And he does the same thing when that stunt that I completely forgot was in it, where he throws the guy over the balcony, and you think the stuntman's dead when he hits his back and breaks. I was like, they just killed stunt.
I remember. Do you know what? I've watched that film so many times, and when I watched it just last time, and that happened, I'm like,
I still got that.
It's one of them films though. Everything's a
even like when do you remember that reverse Superman movie he did?
Yeah.
Well, that's the villain there, because like that, when he kills the guy with a spine on the back, the guy that comes running out with a red t-shirt on is stressed. He has this character moment where he's looking at either a brother or a member of his family who's just died. And then he goes running after Rambo through the hallway, and you assume it's going to be the weird one with the eyes that's going to step forward first. He's like, no, I'm going. And he steps forward. And then he's the one that gets the ultimate death with his head
on the door. On the door jagged edges.
So like Gareth gives layers to every single character in the film. Ones he don't even need time. He gives them.
They don't even deserve it, but he's giving them.
Yeah. Gareth, hire us, please.
It's brilliant. What was it? There's so many bits of like, I mean, I've got other technical bits, but there's so many things he does well to establish character. And then you've got obviously Mad Dog. Now, for those that have seen Marantau, Yayan is one. He actually trained the Indonesian military. For those that know about that,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he trained the Indonesian military and so that. But he obviously in Marantau, if you've seen it, he plays a street fighter. Who basically gets money, and he helps out Iko's character to find this girl that basically has been taken by this drug baron, and he's trying to help him out at the start. And then in the film later on, towards the end of the film, probably gonna ruin it to you guys. I don't want to, but
that's all right.
There's a bit where basically Iko's about to basically go and fight the two main guys, and the lift opens, and someone's been sent to stop him, and it's his friend. It's Mad Dog. Okay. And they have a moment of pause where he just steps into the lift. And they just stand side by side and they don't say anything. And it's such a somber moment because they know what they have to do. And he's just twitching and he's twitching. And then just looks up and he's like, and he builds up all the anger he can to just strike someone who's become his friend. And when he actually kills him, and when Iko kills him, he has this moment where he's looking at the body and the lift opens and he has to go. But he's just like, it's the one death in the film where he's like, I didn't want to do that. And it's such a touching moment. And then to see him play Mad Dog in this, the first one I saw at the cinema, I was like, whoo, you can play a nasty Mad Dog when you want to. But
there's not much of him.
No, not at all.
He's a small guy, but such a huge presence.
That is not a guy you'd want to fight.
A small guy.
He's not a guy, I even though being a small guy, he's not a guy I would want to fight.
No, but what I'm saying is he's so imposing. And to deliver that on film is very difficult for any small... And he does it.
And having not been an actor as well.
And he does it.
He does it.
You say that, and I just want to touch on something quickly, because you're right. He's not an actor, but I think his performance even in the Raid 2 was even better.
His performance was brilliant.
There was, the beats. I'm not going to go into it because obviously, but the beats, there were certain parts I'm talking about. It's phenomenal to see a guy who's not really versed in acting to be able to do that. It's he's absolutely amazing in it.
And there are certain parts where even when he's dragging the body behind him, and he says to Andy, he says his brother, he's just like, what did you have to do that for? I was like, what happened to you? Where have you been? He's like, well, at least I got one of them. There's moments of levity and comedy from the darkness I like in it, which comes from his character. Like even when he stood up and he brings the body in and he's talking to him, he's like, you come here empty-handed. He's like, at least I brought one up. And it's just those moments.
Even there was another one where when they were going downstairs to check on everything, and he's got these men with him, and he goes, I'm going to go by myself. And he goes, no, they're going. He didn't even have to really raise his voice. It's like, they're going. And then them two knew, we're going.
And he plays that moment with the chain. When he's releasing the chain slowly, he's just looking at them. And he's got that menace of, don't worry about the chain coming off because I'm about to kill both of you. There's so much said that's not said in this film that is absolutely brilliant. And it harkens back to the actual strength of the director, but also allowing the cast that he has and taking a chance on these guys that they can pull it off. And they pull it off to a T.
You see Mad Dog? He's the type of character I'd like to know the backstory.
Yes.
I'd like to know how he got there to be so clinically dead. And you'd watch that and you'd
100%.
And you'd love to watch.
I would watch the Mad Dog film. Like,
100%. Standalone. That's a good idea.
Gareth, if you're watching,
there you go. Leo just gave man.
Prequel to the film, make Mad Dog.
But that's what I'm saying. That pays homage to him as such a great actor to just do that, and he barely speaks.
Yeah.
Like, when you think
To be honest, a lot of them barely speak.
Even Iko.
That's why the film is so great.
Yeah.
Because everything's sold with emotion, skill,
Yeah.
and ability.
100%.
But even the dialogue they do have, like, is like I mentioned before, like Let Them Scream. It's clever dialogue. There's nothing in, like, when you watch a martial arts film, whether it's old school Chinese films, whether it's America trying to do action films and martial arts films, 9 times out of 10, and this is not to ridicule most of them, but 9 times out of 10, the dialogue's not going to be great.
Yeah.
The narrative's going to be rehashed. You're going in there because you know what you bought your ticket for. You bought your ticket to go and watch some good choreography.
Yeah.
You went to watch Jackie Chan, Donnie Yen, Jet Li mash up some people.
Yeah.
That's what you went in there for.
Yeah.
There might be hopefully a good plot, like it was Hero or whatnot, but at the end of the day, you know what you're paying.
Yeah.
With this, you could take the martial arts out of it, and it would still,
And it'll still be a good
film.
film. It'll be a
It
good
would still
film.
be a
Yeah.
good film.
I mean, I although it is a martial arts film, I think we do sell it short when we just call it a martial arts film, because it is more than that.
Yeah.
Even, especially even the Raid 2.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because, and that's why I know Leon's gonna love the second one, because there's so much more in the second one. That 100%. If it didn't have martial arts in it, I could watch that again and again and again. So yeah.
Well, my favorite bit is they don't talk for the sake of talking.
Yes.
First of all,
Yes.
everybody's established without talking for the sake of talking. Just like you said, you can see he's a family man. You can see where he's coming from.
Yeah.
You can see the characters opening up, and nobody's saying nothing.
Yeah.
But you know where it's going, and you know what's happening,
Yeah.
and that's what I like. I don't like, most films you will see him and his wife, and that them trying to get you to know the character takes too long.
Yeah.
And it's all 10 minutes of that, and we got it in 2 minutes.
Not even that. A few
No,
seconds.
but I'm taking 2 minutes of him kissing his baby, kissing his wife, doing his prayer, doing his pull-ups, doing his punches, done.
Yeah.
I know who you are. You ain't got to go to the park and fondly watch your wife walk into this coffee shop. You know what I mean? And you're walking in and out of hospital, and you didn't have to do that. And that's what I like. That's what action films are for me.
Yeah.
Don't spend too much time on things that we don't care about.
Yeah.
Like, as long as you got your establishing shots. It's established.
There's ways to do things that don't require too much exposition, or just too much time. Do you know what I mean? And
if it's Hollywood, you'll see the wedding. You'll see the honeymoon. You'll see the first
flashbacks to when they're dating.
like
all of that.
No, drop me out. You see them actually consummating the marriage. I don't want to see it. I saw everything I need to.
Exactly.
And then they switched the shot straight into him eating his noodles. Pop, pop.
Like, the
What's going on?
juxtaposition of that is ridiculous.
Because they did that.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa. This is serious. And then you just sit back in your chair and get excited.
Exactly.
Where is this going to go?
Exactly. So then with you saying that, can I ask you what your favourite scene of the film was?
My favourite scene? My favourite scene is the corridor scene.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
when he can't get out the door.
Okay.
When he can't get out the door and he's got to fight them. And he didn't do a Liam Neeson. One move on you, 2 moves on you. He fought his way. He got punched up. He punched up. He got punched up. And then he crawled out of there with an inch of his life. Can't breathe. That for me. That was the scene for me that stole it. And obviously the last scene when he's fighting Mad Dog.
With his brother.
But that one, because that one changed. That was no Hollywood shit. I don't like Hollywood when they do all that. The angles didn't change too much. I can see what's happening. And
man. What was your favourite scene of the movie?
You know what, going back, I've got so many favourite bits from the choreography. There's so many, like,
I want one.
Punctuates. Second.
I want one, possibly 2.
Right, so, first one is jump off, knee to the face from Mad Dog after he's fighting Joe Taslim in the kitchen. That knee is so
brutal.
Yes. I'd even go the other one when he jumps off the wall and knees him in the face and breaks his nose.
One more.
Go.
That one when he runs and you think he's already broken his neck just before he breaks his neck.
He flips him.
And you thought his neck was broken. And then he grabs him.
Yeah, and the way the music with that as well.
Yeah.
Pause.
Yeah.
Pause. Brought attention.
Yeah. I thought he was dead. I thought he was
No,
already dead.
for real.
How he got up from that? I would never get up from that. You know what I mean?
Play dead, didn't it?
I play dead.
Hope he doesn't.
I'm already dead. Hold my breath, everything. I'm already dead.
So you were saying you got more scenes?
There's some of this choreography that are beautiful, but the scene that always sticks with me is the moment where they're hiding behind the wall and the knife comes through and cuts his cheek, and then he has enough in him to take his hand up to remove the blood from the blade while he's pulling it out. Because the tension in that scene is palpable, and you're sitting there going, you think they're going to find him.
Yeah,
you're generally sitting there going, because at this point, so many officers have been killed off. You're like, he couldn't possibly go at this point. Because Joe Taslim's still alive. You're thinking, maybe they're going to change it. Maybe he's going to die. You don't know. And that scene just sticks out. Like,
and speaking of which, that guy played a friggin' nutcase who's on drugs very well. Yeah. The guy with the
excellent.
Look at his eyes. His eyes are
excellent. He was like an Indonesian people's, like you know them ones.
Because it's even like the rhythm when he speaks like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like that, as he walks out. Like, I'm sorry if I'm butchering what he said. But,
You don't want to put me in a bad mood.
Because I lash out. Because I lash out.
And you saw how he lashed out in the beginning when he was going around chopping man, chopping him in the back when they're lying on the floor.
His own people.
Yep.
They were nearly dead. He was like, let me finish your ass off. I was like, boy.
Oh man, the film is fantastic, man. The film is fantastic. It's
can't speak volumes of this film enough.
Seriously. Carry on.
So Ray, who you mentioned earlier, he's actually the equivalent of a Indonesian Oscar-winning actor.
Okay.
So who? The guy who plays Tama, Ray Sahir Tamapi.
Okay. Did a better job than I did.
So he got nominated. He won an award for this.
Yeah.
So this film has won awards, like and stuff. But he's done like 80+ films.
Wow.
He's like one of Indonesia's go-to actors.
Okay.
So Gareth Evans knew that when he was making this, I need to get the cream of the crop in Indonesia in this film, which he does even more so in the Raid 2.
Yeah.
But there's so many moments where he allows him almost to go like full Scarface, but still reins it in. Because there's that bit where he's being dragged down the stairs, whatever. He's telling him what's going to happen to him, and he just goes off on one.
Yeah.
And it harkens back to me when Pacino's literally got the gun. He's like, say hello to my little friend, and just asks because he's like he knows he's going to die. But he's like he's going to go out in a blaze of glory. So he allows those moments, but still reins it in and keeps it contained and keeps it nuanced, which I think is just. A hats off to the director, but hats off to the actual cast as well.
100%.
That's pretty much the things on cast.
One thing,
go on, bro.
That is always overlooked. I said it to you before.
What's that?
When people are injured and they are screaming in pain.
The police officer with the ear.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
but just in general, you can hear people like screaming, like that's how it would be if you got stabbed in your face and you're still alive. Or it's cut into your liver and you know I'm dying, I'm in pain, I'm scared, I'm gonna scream.
100%.
Hollywood don't do that.
No.
I could cut your liver out, you still be alive.
You know what I mean? And I can still fight.
I can still fight.
And sorry, bro. And I said this to you, Leon. That's why I said if you love this, you're gonna love the Raid 2 because especially the prison scene in Raid 2.
Yes.
Visceral as ridiculously visceral. Real. And, like if just like in the Raid, the first Raid, when someone's really stabbing, I mean, I hope none of you ever have to see someone getting stabbed, but when someone does get stabbed like that, it's the way they showed it in the film is exactly how it will go. Do you know what I mean? And it's not pretty, and people are gonna get injured, and they're not doing a Mary Sue, and all of a sudden I can walk well and I'm not in pain no more. They carry that pain throughout the other scenes. Do you know what I mean? So Leon touched on that brilliantly, man.
Arm fell off, but they're still all right.
You know what I mean? Honestly, I'm not interested. Make it really, and that's why for me, what I love about the Raid and the Raid 2 is the realisticness of the martial arts. So if you want to watch a film, and this is one thing that gets as a martial artist, and I know Damien agrees with me, when you watch the Chinese martial art films, you and to a certain extent the Japanese ones, you love what you're watching, you love the choreography and whatnot, but it's more of a dance. It's more of a most of the films anyway. It's more of a dance in terms of.
There's a lot of rope work. There's a lot of
there's there's
prettiness
a lot of
in the movement.
Yeah. That's it.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Whereas with this, it's you can see how a martial art fight would play out in real life.
Yeah.
That's what this looks like.
Yeah.
So when someone is doing a spinning kick, it's not like, ooh,
The perfect
look at the
Jean-Claude Van
yeah,
Damme.
right,
No,
right.
no.
It's like, okay, this might not look too
Functional.
pretty, but it's functional. This is how it will look when I'm trying to fight for my life doing a spinning kick. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every move was like that. And
Yeah.
this is what I love about the Raid and the Raid 2. This was, for me, martial arts realistically.
Yeah.
How you don't do a bunch of flying side kicks and so on. And don't get me wrong, there were a couple of kind of pretty moves, but they were functional. You could see how they could be used because, for instance, I know you've had it said to you before. Oh, no one would use a spinning kick in a real fight. Well, go and watch the UFC. See how many people get knocked out with spinning kicks.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Edson Barbosa has the best real kick in UFC
right,
history.
right. So yes, they do get used in real fights, and something like this film shows you exactly how they can be used. Sweeping someone off their feet, doing the back swing.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
exactly how you would do it
yeah.
in a real fight.
Yeah.
So this is what I love about both films, The Raid and The Raid 2. But obviously, we're talking about The Raid, so
But no flips off the wall just to get out the way. Like,
right.
You know
no,
when they just
no
flip
somersaults.
just for
Yeah.
when you would just run over there, you wouldn't do two flips
And,
up there.
and what I love also, and this is what I would love, if I had the time, and I know Damien's the same ilk, don't know about Leon because he's not into martial arts like that, but we would love to study Silat. wouldn't you?
Yes.
I would love to.
The moment
because
I finished watching this, I wanted to. My brother bought me a book at the moment I finished watching this.
because I've practiced my main martial art apart from boxing. Obviously, is Taekwondo. I'm a blue belt in Taekwondo. His main martial art is karate. Although he has done Taekwondo, a couple of other things, boxing. And I have done Hapkido, not the Aikido, Hapkido. So I do know a little bit about close quarters fighting. But what I see in Silat is a lot of elbows and knees. I love that stuff. Yeah. I love that. And actually, proper Taekwondo, not the Olympic stuff you see, that's fencing with feet, basically. Yeah. But proper Taekwondo actually has that as well, in the forms and stuff. Yeah. I mean, there's a form, I think you saw me doing it one time when you came to watch me practice, where you grab the man's ears, you bring it down to your knee. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing is that the officer in the sequence where they're fighting in the drug lab, which is actually one of my favourite scenes, like the drug lab sequence. But he's the officer he's with, who gets shot by the old guy. He's a Taekwondo practitioner.
Yes, because some of the stunt guys were Taekwondo practitioners. We should have mentioned that in one of the facts. Actually,
another fact.
Yeah, there you go. So I mean Taekwondo, because a lot of people shit on Taekwondo basically because they see what is in the Olympics and they equate that to real Taekwondo. Real Taekwondo is nothing of the sorts. Nothing of the sorts. And again, Damien will back me up on this. Proper Taekwondo can be used in any situation, fight-wise.
And watch Best of the Best one. That's proper Taekwondo.
Yes. And you see a lot of the UFC guys are proficient in Taekwondo.
Yep. Anthony Pettis is proficient in Taekwondo. Edson Barbosa is a black belt in Taekwondo.
Right.
Yeah, there's
and they use it to very, very well. So one thing that I will say that I loved in this, which I practice with my martial arts, and it's something that one of my my Taekwondo teachers used to tell me was, it's not the art, it's the guy who practiced the art. Yeah. And what I saw in this was a lot of things that I now practice, which is blocking moves, either a kick or a punch, with a kick.
Yeah.
I saw that a lot, and I've incorporated that because you can't do that in competition, for instance, right? But for instance, if I'm fighting Damien's a lot shorter than me. I have long legs. Why am I going to get close for? Yeah. I'm just going to use my legs. I can use my legs. You know what I mean? So it makes sense. That's why I said I think this film really, really shows people how you can use martial arts effectively in a fight. Yeah. So
big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
That's it.
I and this is what makes me a big fan of Iko, proficient in Silat. Ryan, is it Ryan?
Yayan.
Yayan, sorry about that. Yeah, proficient. I mean, even watching him, not just in this film, but when you see him in the Raid 2, you know, it's fantastic.
Iko's, he's a Marvel hero waiting to happen.
Oh,
you know, one of those.
Yeah,
bro, he should be. He should be. Because not only does he have the skills,
Sets him up for that.
yeah. Not only does he have the skills, but he actually does have the acting chops.
Yeah.
He has the acting chops.
He doesn't have to sell you as a hero. You already know he's a hero. Straight away. Others, you have to, that's your, you know.
Like he got Star Wars off the back of that, because both him
Yes,
and Yayan
yes,
are in the
Rogue One.
they're in the not Rogue One, in the
sorry.
third John Boyega one, the very first one. Because
sorry.
the other aliens have come forward before that big, whatever it is, creature ball comes down the hallway and kills them all.
Iko's got a very, and as actors, I think Leon and Damien will agree with me. Iko's got a very significant gift in that his face is very emotional.
Yes.
Tells 1,000 stories.
Right. Big time.
100%. Couldn't have hit it on the head better than that. He doesn't have to do much to show you what's going on with him, and it's a fantastic skill. Robert De Niro touched on it before that he likes to do scenes and auditions where he won't do much, but you see exactly what he's doing on screen. You know what I mean?
Show, don't tell.
Stillness. Yeah.
Less is more.
100%. And Iko is a good example of that. You know, fantastic. I'm a massive fan of his. But to be honest, the whole cast blew it away.
Yep.
Big time.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah, man.
Everyone. Down to the children.
Yeah.
The young people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you fell on the floor,
Do you know what I realised? And I think we all do, but there's so much untapped talent around the world. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's only now some of them starting to come through. Like you see a lot of Brazilian actors now coming through. A few French ones are coming through. It's mad because
the UK ones coming through.
Yeah, you know.
Coming
now. Yeah, man. But no, it's fantastic to see, and I would love to see. I mean, I know a lot of you Indonesian guys and girls don't want to see Iko in Hollywood films because, and I get it, you know, you might feel that his craft, whether it be acting or martial arts,
down.
Yeah. And I get that.
Yeah, it happened in Marvel 22.
Yeah, I've heard about it. I haven't watched it.
However, the world needs to know him.
We need you guys.
Yeah,
we need you guys.
No, but the world needs to know him.
Oh yeah. But I think the more like him come through, then the less they'll be allowed to walk things down.
Yeah.
It's like when John Woo came into Hollywood.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He did things his way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I think it's a blessing that more of you guys are coming through bit by bit. I mean, it's slow, but
that's it.
You know, it's happening.
So where's Mad Dog now?
So
what's he doing?
He's just done Skyline 2. Both him and Iko are in that.
Okay.
He's done a few Indonesian films, which are on Netflix at the moment. It didn't get that much limelight.
Okay.
I think if they do the Raid 3, because there's still a lot of talk about if it'll be done or not. I hope they do it at some point, but if they do it, he'll probably come back the same way he did in Raid 2.
Bring him back, man.
Yeah, because
they bring it.
You gave the game away, Damien. You gave it away, but they bring him back for the Raid.
No, I remember you mentioned it. You said it before.
Yeah, you said it twice.
Not in this, but before when you was talking about it.
Oh, okay. Then I gave the game away.
Yeah. No, it's all good. I'm glad to see him again.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
To be fair, we can't spoil it because the way it's done in Raid 2 is like you go, oh, okay, I like what they did there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So we wrap this up then?
Yes.
So what would you give, seeing that you've seen it for the first time recently, what would you give the Raid?
In its genre, I'd give it a 10.
Seriously?
Yeah, in its genre.
Wow.
Because it ticked, like I said, it ticked all my boxes.
Okay.
It wasn't too, establishing and this and that. It got to what it was. I got to see. I got the enjoyment. I got the gore.
Yeah.
It made sense.
Yeah.
It didn't look fake.
Yeah.
Everything was proper.
Yeah.
So that for that reason,
So then, as a general film, not just in its genre, what would you give it?
I think it's an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
it's an
pretty
8
solid.
as a film.
Yeah.
You know, as one of the greatest films I've ever seen or whatever.
Yeah.
It's around the 8.
But like I said, you're in for a treat with the second one.
Okay.
my friend.
Yeah.
What would you give it, Damien?
For me, it's a solid 1 million out of 10. I love this film. I mean, my favourite film is The Crow. But I'm a very big bias with this film because it's a martial arts film as well as an action film. So I approach it from that standpoint.
Yeah.
And for me, it's up in my top 3. Easily have been made just from a technical standpoint. There's so much other stuff I could talk about this film for hours. But there's so many points in this film that I love and it's so well made. So yes, a solid 10. Solid 10.
Solid 10. Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
solid 10.
And you?
Me, I would be inclined to agree with you guys about it being a solid 10 if I hadn't seen the Raid 2.
Okay. Well, so if you was me, because I've got nowhere to go now.
Yeah. Well, so you might have to revise that when we review the Raid 2.
9.5.
You know what I mean? So for me, it's a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
It's a 9 out of 10.
And that's because the Raid blew you away.
Yeah, because the Raid 2 for me is a superior superior film. It is a superior film. I love this film. Don't get me wrong. I friggin' love this film. But the Raid 2 just had more going on. It had so many dynamics going on.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Stop talking about the Raid 2.
I know.
But
But he wanted because I rang him after he watched it, and he was like, "Yeah, I love this film. I was gonna watch the second one, but I thought no, I'd hang for." I said, "No. Wait until we're doing the review." Wait till we do the
Plus,
review.
it is long. It was 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
It's
a longer film. It's a longer film, but you don't feel it. You don't feel it. You really don't feel it. It's on the same vein as the first one in terms of establishing things quickly and no longing things out. You know what I mean?
Get into it.
So I think that's a solid 10 out of 10 for all of us. You know what I mean?
On average.
To be honest, I love this film, and when me and Damien went to watch the Raid 2 in the cinema, I didn't think it could top this, and it did. Yeah. So, big up Gareth Evans, big up Iko Uwais, and the stunt team, everyone. And please, please, Gareth, just do a third one, please, and incorporate us in there, please.
And big up Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park for making a kick-ass soundtrack.
Oh
for the first film.
For
Mike Shinoda and Joe Trapanzi, the Linkin Park original crew.
Actually, that was another fact because that was actually brought in when the American version of it. So that wasn't in the original version, Indonesian version.
Right.
I say Indonesian version. It's the same film, but when it was released in the American market, they redid the
soundtrack.
The score and stuff. So so fantastic film. We all agree. The Raid.
Do
Redemption.
you agree?
Yeah. What? Please. Yeah.
If you don't,
out of 10. What do you think? What do you give it out of 10? If you've got this far. If we haven't chatted your ears off, if you've got this far.
I'm sure all of our Indonesian supporters will love us chatting about this. Yeah. They can listen to us chat about this all day, but we can't do that. Yeah. So please let us know what you think of the Raid, what you think of Iko's performance and all the other guys' performance, and let us know what other films that you think that we should possibly review. Yeah.
Things we might not have seen. They might be old. They might be just them little cult classics.
Yeah.
And we're going to be doing the Raid 2 next week.
Yes. So stay tuned for that.
Can't wait for that one.
I can't wait. Can you?
Oh, I'm looking forward to watching that again.
Oh, yes, most definitely. Okay. Oh, just to show you, huh?
Where's he going?
Straight away.
Here we go.
There you go.
Here we go. Actually, Damien got this for my birthday, so it's with me.
It's at the top as well. At the top of your
right
file.
at the top, exactly.
At the top,
yeah, there you go.
Anyway,
special place in my heart.
We're waffling on.
Yeah. So we'll be seeing you guys later. Please like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Yeah. And we'll be back soon with the show.
Thank you for supporting the channel.
Yes, thank you very much. We're past 10,000 views, 282 subscribers. Thank you very much, especially to our Indonesian supporters. Thank you. So, with that said,
bye, Felicia. Yeah. There we go.
That actually came on yesterday. I watched it.